What if I told you that India has just built a machine that doesn't just calculate numbers? It can reshape how we understand reality itself. A computer that can model the universe at its deepest level, crack problems classical supercomputers would struggle with for millennia, and accelerate discoveries in ways we can barely imagine. This isn't science fiction anymore. In April 2025, India unveiled QpiAI-Indus, the country's very first full-stack quantum computer. And today we're going to dive inside this historic breakthrough, uncovering what makes Indus special, how it works, and why it could redefine India's place in the global tech race. At its heart, Indus is a 25-qubit superconducting quantum computer. Now, if you're used to hearing about billions of transistors inside a laptop or smartphone, 25 might sound small, but qubits aren't like bits. A bit is binary, either 0 or 1. A qubit, however, can be 0, 1, or a superposition of both at the same time. And when multiple qubits entangle, the number of possible states grows exponentially. To put it simply, a 25-qubit machine can explore more computational states simultaneously than the most powerful classical supercomputer could ever brute force in a reasonable time. What's even more impressive is that Indus is completely made in India. Most countries building quantum computers import critical components like cryogenics, control electronics, or software stacks. Indus, however, represents a fully indigenous effort. Chips, cooling systems, error correction layers, AI-assisted calibration, all developed locally. That's why it's not just a quantum computer, it's a quantum ecosystem. Let's talk about the environment that Indus operates in. To function, its superconducting qubits need to be cooled to temperatures near absolute zero, specifically around 10 millikelvin. That's colder than outer space itself. Why? Because at higher temperatures, thermal noise would scramble the fragile quantum states instantly. At 10 millikelvin, qubits remain stable just long enough for computations to happen. Currently, Indus achieves coherence times of several dozen microseconds. In the quantum world, this is like holding your breath underwater. You don't get much time before decoherence ruins the state. But with those precious microseconds, scientists can already run experiments in chemistry, optimization, and material science. And with each hardware upgrade, the team is aiming to push that to hundreds of microseconds, eventually even a full millisecond. That milestone could unlock entirely new classes of computations. Another key factor is fidelity, how accurate a qubit operation is. Indus records single-qubit gate fidelities of 99.7%, and 2-qubit fidelities around 96%. For context, in quantum computing, even a tiny error rate compounds rapidly. High fidelity means Indus can chain together more operations without the entire calculation collapsing into noise. That's a huge deal if we're talking about error-corrected, fault-tolerant systems in the future. Indus is not just hardware, it's an integrated, locally built stack. Now here's something that makes Indus unique on the global stage. It's not just a quantum computer, it's a hybrid AI quantum platform. Alongside its qubit core, Indus integrates classical high-performance processors and advanced AI systems. Why? Because managing qubits isn't simple. They drift, they pick up noise, they need constant recalibration. So Indus uses AI to monitor performance, detect anomalies, and adjust controls in real time. It's like giving the quantum system its own nervous system, making it smarter and more self-sustaining. With those systems in place, scientists can run experiments in chemistry, simulating molecules at far greater fidelity than classical approximations, or tackle optimization problems, finding routes, schedules, and solutions classical methods struggle with. And material science experiments, modeling quantum-level interactions to design new materials faster. All of this depends on precise control pulses, low-noise environments, and fast classical processors to orchestrate runs in real time, and this is only the first step. The roadmap for Indus is ambitious. By the end of 2025, QpiAI plans to scale the system up to 64 qubits. By 2027, the target is 128 qubits, and by 2028, the goal is nothing short of 1,000 qubits, complete with logical, error-corrected qubits that can run indefinitely. So why should we care? Because the applications are enormous. In healthcare, quantum computers can simulate molecules with near-perfect precision. This could accelerate drug discovery, helping us design new medicines and vaccines in months instead of decades. In finance, they could model market dynamics, optimize trading strategies, or manage complex global risks with speed classical systems can't match. In logistics, quantum-powered optimizations could reduce fuel consumption, cut delivery times, and save billions annually. And in climate science, they could simulate Earth's ecosystems with unmatched accuracy, helping us tackle global warming with more precise models and interventions. But here's another revolutionary angle. QpiAI isn't planning to keep Indus locked away in elite labs. They're building a quantum-as-a-service platform. Imagine logging into the cloud from anywhere in the world and running quantum algorithms on India's first quantum computer. Students in rural India, researchers in small startups, or global companies could all experiment with quantum workloads. This democratization of access means Indus isn't just a scientific milestone, it's a national resource. And let's not forget the geopolitical weight of this. The global quantum race is heating up, with the US, China, and Europe investing billions to dominate this frontier. With Indus, India signals that it is no longer a bystander. It's building not just quantum hardware, but also AI-driven software, control electronics, and training programs to develop talent. Of course, challenges remain. Scaling qubits introduces engineering nightmares, more noise, more errors, and higher demands on cooling. There's also the looming threat to cybersecurity. As quantum computers grow, they could potentially crack today's encryption. That's why the parallel development of post-quantum cryptography is essential. At a deeper level, Indus also represents something symbolic. Just as ancient India gave the world the zero, modern India could give the world quantum breakthroughs. It's a blend of heritage and future, where centuries-old curiosity about the nature of reality now meets cutting-edge technology exploring quantum mechanics itself. So when you hear about QpiAI-Indus, don't just think of it as a machine with 25 qubits. Think of it as a spark, the first chapter of a long journey, one that could redefine industries, economies, and even our daily lives. This is Beyond Binary, bringing you closer to the frontier where technology meets possibility. If you enjoyed this deep dive into India's quantum leap, hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. What's the first problem you'd want quantum computers to solve? Let's explore it together.